All right, that looks like a Gonz. That means it's time. Welcome back, everyone, to Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. We missed you. It's been a long week, but we're back. So that means the Ravens are back. They are back from their bye week, set to go toe-to-toe against the New York Giants Gonz Saturday night. How you feeling?
Well, it's been a long 2 weeks, that's right. But we had a good time in our bye week show when we had your guests on, or our guests on. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's time for more Ravens football. We're in week 15, 4 games to go. Let's get it.
Let's get it. And if you guys are wondering what Gonz is talking about, we had a State of the Ravens show last week. You know, if you want to tune in, figure out what we were talking about, we had two great guests on. That show is on our YouTube page. Link will be in our bio on the gram, of course. But it ain't bye week no more. It's week 15.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Giants. We are at MetLife, 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. You know, the funny thing is I see a lot of people like not really worried about this game, but either way, it is still any given Sunday. We are locked in for Sunday football. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, Gonz, are we healthy or not, man?
That was a lot of hesitation. I was nervous for a second. The short answer is, hell yeah, we're healthy. I mean, there's only like two guys missing, and that's Sanusi Kane and Adisa Isaac, who popped up this week. Every other single Baltimore Raven on this roster is practicing this week, so there's really nothing to say. For us, I mean. Now, New York Giants, if you want to read that laundry list, go ahead. I don't have it in front of me, but they're banged up, and there's key names that are not going to be playing, and that's going to be John Runyon on the O line, Bobby Akereke on the D line on the defense. I think he's a linebacker, right? Yeah, he's their linebacker. And a couple other guys out there, key guys. So, yeah, if the Ravens don't win this game, they should win this game. I don't care how they win this game. They need to win this game. I know a lot of people want a blowout. I just want a decisive victory where we look good in both phases, and there's no excuse not to. I mean, we need to get out of here with a win and no injuries. I'm really nervous about this field, so let's be smart about playing on that nasty field in MetLife. But yeah, just win by all means possible and do it safely, because right now we're really healthy. In December, what's today? December 14th. That's a really good thing to say about a football team in December, mid-December at that. So let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I know that's why a lot of people have a lot of trepidations about like the late bye week, but it's kind of one of those moments where you're like, oh, well, late in the season, you get your guys, you know, let them relax for a week, get their bodies right for the next 4 games. So as much as I'm like, dang, we had a really late bye week, it's like, I mean, to be able to be this healthy going this late into the season is pretty dope.
Right.
Like Gon said, a laundry list of injuries for the Giants. Drew Lock did not participate in practice. No Evan Neal. No Bobby Akereke. Deontay Banks is limited. Malik Neighbors, their star receiver, first-round pick, was limited. It's a lot of key, like Gon said, a lot of key injuries.
It could be Tommy DeVito on Sunday.
It is Tommy DeVito. It is Tommy Cutlets on Sunday afternoon. We'll talk about that when we get on defense, because we'll have a lot to say. But yeah, like God said, Ravens are pretty much good to go on all fronts. We will be welcoming back Michael Pierce.
Good.
Officially, he'll make his return. He is on the 53-man roster, so he will be good to go. One thing I will say, we will not have our Darius Washington. He did not fly to Jersey. Well, I guess they don't fly, bus, or whatever they do to get down there. But yeah, our Darius Washington will not be with the team on Sunday due to personal reasons. So most likely we will probably see Marcus Williams back up top on Sunday afternoon. Well, either him or Bo Braid. We will know that decision, of course, on Sunday when that inactives list comes out. But
Did Bo Braid be raised to the active roster?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
There was no announcements of that as of yet. I was at work today. I didn't say anything. I just saw the fact that our Darius Washington is not going to be there on Sunday due to personal issues. Wishing that he's well. Yeah, hope he's all good. Big key to that Ravens secondary. He's been playing his butt off
Mm-hmm.
all season. So we probably will see either the return of Marcus Williams in the starting lineup or Bo Braid will be in the starting lineup. We will see on Sunday. All right, injuries are out of the way. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Offense or defense?
Let's start with the more concerning trend, offense. Let's see if we get that right.
All right,
Are you starting or me?
I'll take
All
it
right,
off. I'll kick it off.
cool.
Offensively, right? This is a banged up Giant squad,
Mm-hmm.
right? And coming off of a loss to a really good Eagles squad, you're gonna want to get right. This is pretty much like a hey, let's get back into shape game. Hey, let's show this is a good offensive team game. I think this has the makings to be. I expect, well, I'm hoping that the offense can have the game kind of put away by halftime, so those guys can get off the field by
That's
halftime.
good. Yeah.
I would like to see that happen. Like you said, MetLife is not the perfect place to play, as many players know. I think this is a big Derrick Henry bounce back game. I know he said it himself. He didn't play as well against the Eagles, so I know he's going to want to bounce back in this one. I expect him to get a good brunt of carries going into this game. The Giants' front are missing a key piece in the middle, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Big Sexy Dexy is not in the middle.
Yep.
He's out for the year with an injury.
Catch a
So I
break there.
mean,
The Ravens' offensive line does.
quite literally a huge break. Dexter Lawrence, one of the best interior linemen, defensive linemen in the NFL, is not even a debate. So not having him there is a huge, huge win for the Ravens. Dex, I hope you get better though. I do hope you get better. Heal up. But yeah, that's a huge break for the Ravens. You should be able to abuse the run game in this game. Get Henry going. Like I know we talked about it in the show, in the State of the Ravens show. I don't know when we'll see Keaton Mitchell get those carries that he was getting last year. I don't know if this is the game to really work him in. I don't see why not, especially against this Giants front.
I don't think it's MetLife Field.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see that much of Keaton Mitchell really until next year. I really don't, because you got to ease guys back in. And then
that's true, but I think that
got Justice Hill, how he's been playing, and of course King Henry. There's no need to force feed him the ball, and I get people want to see it because based off of last year, he was dynamic when he got the ball. But I don't know if you want to just throw him right back out there, especially the type of runner he is, speed. You don't want to rush that. I don't think you force feed him more than 5 carries. But that being said, sorry to jump in, but I wanted to give this point. That being said, when Dom said a second ago, halftime, you want this game to be wrapped up, so you see more of the backups. Maybe you do see more Keaton Mitchell to limit the snaps of Justice Hill and Derrick Henry. But what do you do here, though? That's actually a pretty interesting conflict the Ravens have. Less carries for them and more for the running back 3? Or are they going to give Rasheen Ali more carries? I don't know. So,
I mean,
we'll see.
that's the big question. I'd say Keaton Mitchell, and I know we're all excited to see him out there. All of us are, because we saw how great he was last year. I'm really just thinking about, as we get deeper into, like, I'm thinking more postseason. And I say that because, with Buffalo and Kansas City being those top seeds, if we were to have to travel to those cities, those states, I mean, there's potential blizzard weather, right? It's going to be freezing cold, maybe not a lot of passes. And I'm saying, like, when you have 3 guys who can switch in and out at any point, who give you 3 different aspects of the game, right? Where Henry is power, you got Hill, who's elusive, you got Keaton, who's a speed demon. I mean, there's 3 guys who can make or break the game however they want to. So I'm thinking you ramp them up a little bit, because we said there's 4 games left of the regular season, right? So I was saying you get him ramped up, get him ready for playoff action because you're going to need him when those cold days, when you're not going to be passing as much, and you want to keep those running backs going. You know what I mean? You want to be able to switch them out however, whenever. And I'm not saying that Derek and Justice haven't been working, because they have been working. Both of them have, carried off of each other and been playing great. But having Keaton in that speed aspect is going to be a problem for a lot of defenses, especially those defenses are going to get tired later in games, and they're not going to want to chase that. We've seen it before. They're not going to want to chase that. So I'm definitely okay with not rushing Keaton, especially for the health aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be 100% when he's on the field. But it would be nice to see him, especially because I want to see if we're going to ramp him up for possible deep playoff contention going into like later January. You know what I mean? But I know that's for the future. We're still in December now. We still got to make it through these 4 games. I know I'm thinking way too far down the road. But yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, with Keaton, I would like to see that. But back to the main thing, I think the run game would be very important in this game, especially with no Dexter Lawrence. You want to get those running backs going. And I think for confidence boost for Lamar, especially coming off that game where I know we didn't pass it as great as we wanted to against the Eagles, I think this is like a game for him. Like, how frustrated he was after that game. He was ready. He didn't even want the bye week. He was ready to just get back on the field. I think this will be a game for him to bounce back, work on getting the ball out quick a little bit more than he did against the Eagles. As much as Dexter Lawrence is not there, the Giants still have 2 edge rushers who can also break the game. You got Brian Burns and you got Kayvon Thibodeau, 2 great edge rushers who can get at you at any point. So I would definitely say let's work on trying to get the ball out quick. Again, work the screen game. Continue to work the screen game. I don't see why we don't for it to get better, especially with Derrick Henry. I would like to see Derrick Henry catch more screens. I just want to see us have more of a balanced game than we did against the Eagles, and I think this is the game to do that. I'm not going to say this is going to be a layup because I'm not going to jinx us. Knock on wood. But I think this is the game where you look towards getting the offense back in shape. Because if the defense, which we'll get to in a minute, but if the defense performs well, I want this to be the game where the defense and the offense finally play another cohesive game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them show up, not the defense having a great game, but the offense can't score. You know what I mean? I just want to see a cohesive game with both units. That's all. So I think the offense comes back alive on Sunday, and I think I'm not going to say we're getting a Jackson 5 or a Jackson 6 or any of that stuff, but I don't really care to see it. I don't care for a blowout. I just want to see, like Gonz said, a decisive win, and I hope that's what the offense brings us on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's all we really need. We just got to get a win, get up to the 9 wins in the standings, and keep it rolling here in the AFC playoff picture. So yeah, honestly, offense, I don't really need to say much. We need a better game in the pass protection department on the offensive line side of things. We need to take control of the line of scrimmage, and we need to have a balanced game on offense. I'm sorry. I know we want to run the ball a lot, and I get that. But to win the Super Bowl, we need to have a balanced offense. You got to throw the ball. And I just don't think we did as much of that. And there were plays that to be made in the Eagles game. So many plays in the passing game that we just did not hit. And then I feel like that just let the Eagles key in on the run a little bit more with Jalen Carter and all those guys. So let's just call a balanced game. Let's not do razzle-dazzle. I don't think we need to do any end-arounds this game unless we start getting pushed on the line of scrimmage. Okay, that's when you can start doing your razzle-dazzle plays when you start taking control of the line. Okay, because what we saw last week in the Eagles game, they were driving down the field in the beginning, when they were still, having the lead, and then they did an end-around. They lost 7 yards. Like, let's not do that, please. Can we just do normal running plays? And then if you start to get a little push, maybe you can get a little bit cute when you're up 20-0 or something, or 14-0, even that, 10-0. But I don't want to see any cute plays. Let's just run some stretches, some inside zone, those toss sweep plays to the outside to Henry, and let's just get them going. Screens, quick passes, And we just need a better overall balanced game. Better game from Lamar. We need him to be accurate. We need to hit the wide open throws. And, yeah, like you said, get rid of the ball if needed. But then he won't have to get rid of the ball, though, if the offensive line blocks. See? So just everybody's got to do a better job. It was just sloppy last game, and we just need to see a better job on that side of the ball because they're number one. They were number one in the league, at least. So if not number one in the league, at least top 5, top 3 offense. So we expect a lot from them, and we need them to do their part as we go down the stretch here. So yeah, that's my just get it done. I don't even really have any more keys to the game for the rest of the season. Just get it done. Be balanced and effective, and get it done. Be efficient in the passing game. That's all you need to be. Okay, if you run the ball well and you hit some play actions, that's all you need. You don't need 500 yards passing. Okay, we don't need 300 rushing yards every game. We just need a nice mix of the both. Okay. And that's what the Ravens can do. That's how dynamic they can be on offense because they've got they've got good, powerful passing games and rushing games. So if you can put them together and make sure each of them are holding up their end of the balance beam, this is a tough offense to stop. Okay. And then when the plays are there to be made, please make them. I don't want drops. I don't want overthrows. Just do your game. Just play your game, and you'll be fine. Honestly.
Now, just a couple of stats I want to throw at you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Some Giants defensive rankings. Giants rank 16th in total defense. They allowed 336 total yards per game. They've allowed 32 touchdowns. As far as passing defense, they are number 6. They've allowed 194 passing yards per game. So pretty good passing defense. A lot better than I anticipated from this Giants team.
Mm-hmm.
But rushing defense, they are ranked 29, allowing 141 yards a game and 14 rushing touchdowns. So, like I said, this could be a big game for running backs. I feel like 20, 25 carries. I'm not going to get, just give them the ball.
But I still think for this team to be really successful, you got to be dynamic. You got to,
absolutely
not dynamic. You got to be,
you can only get away with the run so much. You should keep it in the game plan, but if you can't pass the ball, you're not going to succeed in this game. We've seen it time and time again. You can't move the ball, you're not getting touchdowns. And anybody who watched that Thursday night game, Rams Niners, you know what the heck we're talking about. Oh my goodness. We're not going to get into that. But keys to the game pretty simple. Keep no mistakes. Please keep the ball in your hands. Yeah. Please.
Yeah, no
turnovers. Should be fine. No turnovers, please.
And no box snaps, please. Can we not fumble the ball and handoffs, Lamar? As angry as Lamar is this week, I don't want to see any of that crap, those dumb mistakes at all.
No, there should not be botch snaps. Let's hope there's no botch snaps. Let's just play clean. Nice, clean football. Mm-hmm. It should be a get-right game for this offense.
Balance, all right, run the ball, and take care of the ball. There's 3 keys to the game. There you go.
There you go. That's all you got to do. Like, it's that simple, right? So when we watch tomorrow, we should be good, right?
We get ready for my keys of the game against Pittsburgh.
Please don't bring up that game yet. I'm terrified. But anyway, shout out to Lavoy in the chat. Thank you, brother.
I'm
not ready for that game yet.
Okay.
That pregame for Steelers is going to be, I might need a drink. But before we even get
okay, I'll hold you to it.
All right, let's go on this defense for the Ravens. Guys, it's Tommy Cutlets. It's like I want to have I want to have a big game plan for Tommy Cutlets, but
Well, let's talk about it. He's a little bit mobile. Based on what he did last year, he was kind of accurate on some deep shots last year. At least he had a nice win against Green Bay on Monday Night Football, and they had a little bit of a stretch of him playing some good ball. But this year, they threw him in. Rough game against Tampa. Got a little something going, but I think the game was well out of reach. But yeah, it's Tommy DeVito. We have to win this. I mean, if we are a championship caliber team, like we keep saying we are, and what the Ravens keep thinking they are, you got to win this game, and you got to play pretty decent in this game. There's no reason why this defensive line should struggle. We need pressure on the quarterback. Okay, this is one of the worst O lines in the NFL, isn't it? Don't their quarterbacks take a lot of sacks?
I
Or
think so.
a lot
I
of them
can
maybe
check.
they held the ball too long. I know Jones was going down a lot before he got released, obviously. But yeah, you've got to be able to get pressure this game. And like you said, Michael Pierce is coming back. There's just no excuse. Okay, I mean they got Tyrone Tracy, who is a nice little rookie running back for them, who's had a couple moments, but he also turns it over. He fumbles. He does cough the ball up. So I mean, you got to take advantage. You really do.
Just gonna before you continue, I just want to call. I'm gonna throw a couple of rankings at you.
Yeah.
As far as total offense goes, Giants ranked 26th, only putting up about 301 yards of total offense. As far as passing offense goes, they rank 28th with 185.5 passing yards per game. They only have 8 passing touchdowns on the year. They are the only team in the NFL with single-digit passing touchdowns on the year. As far as rushing goes, they are ranked not too bad, about middle of the pack. They are ranked 15th, 115 rush yards per game. They have 11 rushing touchdowns. As far as scoring offense goes, they are ranked dead last at 14.9 points per game.
I don't have a problem. I'm not concerned about their scoring on us because I think we'll tighten up in the red zone and make Graham Gano. But well, we have to. I mean, if you struggle with it, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's an intangible. We could talk about it at the end. We should see more or less of the bend but not break defense that we've seen. Okay, that was a little bit of a double negative. I'll clarify in a second. Typically, this Ravens defense has been bend but not break against these top offenses like the Chargers, who was pretty good, and the Eagles. Okay, the Eagles were doing not much on offense until the very end.
Yeah, that passing offense was lackadaisical for Philadelphia.
When they really didn't have to, when we were just giving them the ball back every time. But, yeah, so I think this time we can actually see some better third down defense from the Ravens and not so much as giving up a lot of yards and not a lot of points like we've been prone to doing. So I think we can get a lot of 3-and-outs, for example, and not having to wait till the red zone to get stops like we have done in the past. So I think this game is a test for us to really get that third down defense going because that's been a problem for this team, I think, is stopping people on third down. So, this should be a good one for our defense, a good matchup. The run defense needs to be stout again because if you can limit Tyrone Tracy from breaking out big runs, make Tommy Cutlets throw the ball, you'll be fine. And if Malik Neighbors is banged up, there's really no one out there that is too big of a threat. I mean, do they have Sterling Shepard still? Is he still out there?
I don't think so. Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson.
So it's not Shepard.
And Jalen Hyatt, the receiver they drafted last year.
Hyatt can make some catches. He's got some hands on deep catches.
But they haven't really been throwing deep all year, though.
They haven't. But I know in the past, he's got most of his highlights on his tape are deep throws. And that's somebody that actually Tommy Cutlets was connecting with on some of those deep shots that he was taking in that little run last year. I believe, it was. Because I remember watching him play the Patriots, Bill Belichick's last year with them, hit some deep throws to him. So they may have a little connection there, so you don't want to get that going. So let's just lock them up. We need a good game from the DBs. The DBs got to play good. Brandon Stevens, Marlon Humphrey, Trey White, maybe some more good highlights from Trey White. Throw him on Hyatt or Neighbors or whoever. And then just wrap up tackling. Make sure we're tackling in the open. There were a couple missed tackles last week, and we should be fine. Dominate the line of scrimmage, make your tackles, and you should win this game, honestly. And third down defense. Those are your keys on defense to get this win.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nose. And like you said earlier, I was checking the stats. It looks like they've given up the 6th most sacks on the season. They are at 42, tied with the Houston Texans, another one of our future opponents. So
all right,
nice to see.
I need 2 sacks total. Then 2.
I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, when you get Michael Pierce back, You get big man in the middle back. He can clog up the middle with Matabike. You can get your edge rushers going maybe. So I'm hoping that's the case.
Kyle Van Noy will be back
yeah,
too,
that's
so maybe we.
true. So hopefully you can get some pressure there. It is nice to see the Texans on this list. We'll see them on Christmas, so we'll bring that up soon. Because they've given up 42 sacks as well. Poor C.J. Stroud. But yeah, I don't see any issues with anything you said. I think it's pretty straightforward. You pressure Tommy Cutlets, force him to make some mistakes, and you keep a lid on Tyrone Tracy. He's definitely made a name for himself this year. He's been a dynamic back for them. He's pretty much been a good part of their offense. I'm not going to lie. Whether he's catching passes out of the backfield or he's running inside, outside, does not matter. He's been able to make plays against some pretty good defenses too. So you definitely have to try to keep a lid on Tracy. Don't let him try to take over the game. But other than that, I think the plan is pretty simple. Send pressure, force Tommy Cutlets to make mistakes, keep them out of this game as much as possible, get your guys on the bench, get back to Baltimore. I don't
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see some more turnovers.
That's another thing. We didn't talk about that. We don't get turnovers that often anymore.
No, we don't.
Marlon Humphrey.
We do not.
Marlon Humphrey, I think, leads the Ravens in takeaways. Like, he's got 5 picks.
He does. He has 5 picks.
Yeah, he forced a fumble in the Bengals game. So he's responsible for 6 turnovers, and we only have 8, 9, 10 maybe max.
We do not have a lot this year.
So
last year, I think we led the league.
We need that to become a trend too for this team, and it could start today or tomorrow.
Yeah, we definitely need to start trying to force some more turnovers. I think didn't we lead the league last year, if I'm not mistaken, in forcing turnovers? And this year we have not gotten many. That's because at the beginning of the year we weren't getting a lot of stops, so that's there. But I would like to see some turnovers this game just to give this defense a little more momentum. They've been looking like they're going in the right direction, trending upwards. And I think they're trending upwards at the right time. I feel like you want to get close when you get to that playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, this is the time when you want your defense to be playing lights out. So it's nice to see them trending now, trying to play better. You got Roquan, you got Trenton. So I'm hoping that this is just a game where we continue to keep going forward. I don't see why the defense can't get a good amount of stops prior to a game, unless it's a blowout and everybody's going on the bench. But I don't see why this defense can't get a decent amount of stops against Tommy Cutlets and that Giants offense. So make sure you try to pressure the quarterback, contain the run game, keep Tyrone Tracy at bay, force turnovers, and I think you should be fine. Again, this game, as much as people are overlooking this game, I'm not. I just want them to get in, do what you have to do, get out. It literally should be just that simple. Right, just get in, get out. It's a multi-man mission to get it done. That's all I'm hoping for. I just want us to come out clean. But yeah, I mean those are all our keys in a nutshell. I'm not gonna lie, because of the Giants, I feel like we didn't have to talk too much. But now I want to see how we're feeling about these score predictions.
I mean, you got to win this game.
I mean, you have to. Right?
You have to. I mean,
you kind of have to.
You want to call yourself a playoff team and a contending squad, which I still think they are. I'm going to give them this win. You have to win this. I mean,
you have to win.
There's no excuse.
I'm still thinking division, right? Because if you look at the Steelers' schedule, right, they're not ending the year easily. You know what I mean?
Put it like this: if they beat the Eagles, it's going to be real tough.
I'm not gonna lie. If they come out of this 4-game stretch or whatever, the rest of do they have to play the Bengals again?
They got Eagles, us in Baltimore, and then Kansas City at home, and then the Bengals at home.
That's not an easy 4-game stretch. And I don't know if the Bengals are playing that last game of the season. I don't know if they're gonna play Burrow and Chase and all those guys. But man. And I'm not going to lie, if they can somehow finish that stretch 3-1 or whatever, I'm not going to lie, they've earned that spot. I'll give them all credit where credit is due. But those games are not easily winnable. And George Pickens is not playing tomorrow.
Eagles better win, I swear.
You saw how that offense looked.
If the Steelers do win that game, I'm going to have to tip my cap because
you have to.
I don't know.
I'll give them
credit. I still feel like the Eagles aren't playing their best ball right now, though. They don't look very good. And that's why I was especially pissed right after the game when we played because we let them off the hook. Because I don't think they have been playing very good ball recently. I mean, they
didn't play that yet.
They barely beat the Jaguars. Well, that might have been a little.
Barely beat us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they scraped away with us because we forgot how to kick field goals and catch balls and complete wide open throws as a number one offense. But never mind. Let me not talk about it. And then don't look dominant. I mean, who else did they play recently? Man, look up. And then they had a really struggle game with the Commanders.
Let me pull it up real quick. Let's see. So, like we said, they only beat the Panthers by 6. They beat us by 5. They performed well against the Rams. Like you said, they struggled. They didn't struggle, but they almost didn't really. They barely beat the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely stomped the Cowboys. They only beat the Jaguars by 5.
Yeah, but I'm talking about recently. Yeah, they had a real scare. I mean, Carolina 22-16. Really?
Yeah, their 2 recent closest games were us by 5 and they beat Carolina by 6.
I don't know, man. This is not an auto win for the Eagles.
No, it's not.
They're gonna have to play good.
I think my main takeaway from the Eagles-Steelers game will be the Eagles' defense. And I say that because you saw how lackadaisical that Steelers offense started off without George Pickens. And George Pickens is not playing tomorrow.
True.
So I think the Eagles' defense will be key to them winning that game. I think they will try to do everything in their power to contain Russell Wilson going into that game. And I think that's where they can come out with the win. Defensively, obviously, they will give Jalen Hurts trouble. I mean, as much as we don't want to, and I don't want to give them credit, I don't, but you have to. The Steelers' defense has been playing really, really well this year.
Deep.
And I'll give them credit there. I'll give them credit where credit is due in that regard. But I mean, I don't know how long they'll be able to contain this that Eagles offense. Dallas Goedert is again not playing. I don't know. I don't think he'll be back till the playoffs. So that's one less weapon, but you still got Barkley, you still got AJ Brown, and you still got Devontae Smith.
So came back and played pretty well.
And the offensive line is still very healthy.
We'll see.
So
we'll see how Pittsburgh doesn't look very good either. So exactly. It might be a pretty interesting game. Yeah. So go Eagles. I'll be watching that game big time because I know they're coming on at 4:20. But they're on at 4:20. We got to do our score predictions. We're drifting away from it, so let's do it.
So AFC North talk. So we're good.
All right, go ahead.
Shoot. I don't want to say we're gonna run away with this one. I think we will handle the game though.
Okay.
Right. I think we win the game 38-10.
Oh my God. All right. I'm going much closer. It's December. Ravens might be a little bit rusty too. But we'll see. And I'm going to go safe and conservative. I'm going to go 28-17. So like a 10-point win.
2 touchdowns on us?
I mean, 13. How about that? I don't know.
I don't thinking of that. Like, I don't think they should.
I'm not saying. I just feel like they might score twice on us, but I don't think they'll be threatening to win, and they might just be hanging around. I don't know, but I just can't trust the way the Ravens have been playing. I just can't flat out say they're going to win 38-10. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
But they better win this game. I don't care how you win it. Just get the freaking win because that would be catastrophic if there was a loss. I'm counting this as a win on the calendar. So don't fail me, please. Don't fail yourselves.
Now.
Don't fail yourselves. You'll be in trouble if you lose this.
Agreed. You'll be in trouble. Yeah, you'll be in trouble with us because we'll be in Owings Mills picketing the whole team and striking. But yeah,
and then go Eagles. That's my second thing.
Yeah, and go Eagles. Yes, go Eagles. But yeah, guys, those are our score predictions. Me 38-10, Gonz says 28-17. What do you guys think this game? How does this game end for the Baltimore Ravens? Are they coming out with a dub? Are we striking the Ravens because they are not playing well? You let us know in the comments down below. Gonz, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
I might go 13. How about that? 2 field goals and a touchdown.
Gonz changing his answer.
Because they
all right, so
do struggle, and I'll give us the benefit of the doubt in the red zone. So 28. You know what? Even better. I can consolidate for both of the options. 28-16. How about that? So one touchdown,
20,
but only one down. So that's the best. That's the best negotiation. How about that?
all right, there we go. So we're gonna go with God says 28. You said 28-16.
28-16. So they only score one time, but they do get 16.
All right, we'll take that. We'll
Three
take that as
field goals
fair.
and a tutty.
All right, we'll take that as fair for now. And even though we should not be letting them get into field goal range, but hey, that's just me. But
Good. I like your standards.
hey man, I'm just saying, like, this is a game where you have to get right.
And you got to do it safely.
Correct.
We got to stay healthy. Yep.
Correct.
We need this full squad going into the playoffs.
That's why I say get it done, get off the field. That's literally my main thing. Get it done, get off the field. Worry about Steelers, and we'll bring you that after. Of course,
but don't think about Steelers until tomorrow night.
No, not until you're done. Not until you're done. Of course.
Yeah.
Like when the game is in hand and the clock finally hits 0, Steelers. That's the main thing. But yeah, Gonz, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nope, that was my final thought. Just
there
bring it home. Bring it home.
Bring home the dub, man. 4 weeks left. We have to lock in. It is prime lock-in season. So please lock in. Get this dub. We will worry about next week when it comes because we have a stretch coming. But all right, guys, those are our final thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is your team still in playoff contention? Are they not? I'm so sorry if they're not. The NFL sucks sometimes. But you know, how are your teams faring this late into the season? Let us know in your comment section down below. Thank you for indulging in our content. We greatly appreciate it. Every like, comment, share, comment. Again, I said comment twice. We really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in also to the State of the Ravens show that we held. Again, that is on our YouTube page. Link is in our bio if you want to watch it. Pretty good, insightful things we talked about during that week. But yeah, guys, we're going to get up on out of here. We're going to prepare Ravens, Giants, 1 o'clock Metlife Stadium. We'll bring you guys post-game coverage when it's done. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll see you guys when we see you. Go Ravens.